the Cornwall Motor Speedway. Look out, here comes the 101 of Stuart Musa. He's got the inside groove here on the 17 machine of Zyra. Musa, he'll take a peek down low as Zyra will drift up the track coming out of 2. Down the backstretch, they'll fire. Zyra on the outside. Here comes Musa. He found the go fast pedal as they head into turn number 3. Musa leans just a little bit on him. Fishtail it out of 2. Now the number 3 spot belongs to the 101 of Stuart Musa. The race for the lead. Here we go. The 89 of Oban to the bottom. Castell to the top side. They go down. Backstretch. It is Castell with the early race lead. But now the man on the move. The 89, Oban. Oban now your new race leader. But here comes the 101 of Stuart Musa. Oban going to slow her down just a little bit coming out of 4. 4 laps in. Your new race leader is the 89 machine of Oban. Oban going to look to run away and hide here. As now Stuart Musa with a little bit of a bumper love down to the backstretch on the Castell machine. Musa looking for an opening on the bottom, not going to find it here as the door is shut by Castell. Musa going to lean on him a little bit again, but he's going to be settling into that 3rd position. 1 lap remaining for the Bandits tonight. Race number 1 for them. Oban able to break away is now Zyra getting back into the mix here, so to speak. Down the backstretch, the 89 sets it up for turns 3 and 4. He'll go a little high into turn number 3. Slows it a little bit coming out of 4. Musa to the outside, going to look to get that number 2 position, but heat race win goes to the 89 machine of Oban, followed by Castell, the 101 of Musa, the 17 of Zyra, and the man on the move, the 3 of Mike Gauthier. That will conclude the
at MIR during the week. We're set to go Pro Stock Heat number 1 as they come up off of turn number 4. Green flag flies. We're underway. And the 6 of LeBrun out to that early race lead. The 69 of Swamp holding down that 2nd spot. Ricky Thompson trying to make some headway early, trying to get by P.J. Peters for 3rd, and will do so as Peters had to jump on the binders coming off of turn number 2. And allowed Ricky Thompson to get on by as Alan Peters works from that 5th spot. Lap number 1 is up on the scoreboard. And the 6 of LeBrun, who has had all sorts of struggles here since he won that track championship here back in 2008. Ricky Thompson's been experiencing the same fate. He hasn't won a race since his championship year here back in 2010. Would like to get that off his back as he comes up off of corner number 4. He is now up to that number 2 spot as Jody Swamp and P.J. Peters have it out for 3rd and 4th. The 88 of Alan Peters rounds out the field in 5th. Up in front, though, Stefan LeBrun waiting for nobody as P.J. Peters shuffled out of line once again, and Alan Peters will get on by for that 4th spot. As they come up off the corner, it's LeBrun, Thompson, Swamp, Alan Peters, and P.J. Peters in that order, and Thompson's really charging hard going through turns 1 and 2. Got a pretty good bite that time down the backstretch and starts to gain here on Stefan LeBrun for that top spot. May have seen a little smoke showing out of the back of that car, and you can definitely see it right there as he comes up off the corner. A little trail of white smoke coming out of the back of it as you see him get into the corner right about there. Not sure if something is rubbing on the suspension of that car or if it's something internal. Hopefully it'll hold together for Ricky as these 2 drivers have been waiting a long time to get back to victory lane here at MIR, and right now Stefan LeBrun has that top spot with 5 laps complete. 3 more remain here in this first of 2 Pro Stock Heat events. As they head down the back straightaway, it's LeBrun and Thompson 1 and 2, and then Alan Peters working over Jody Swamp for that number 3 spot as they go down into turns 3 and 4. P.J. Peters rounds out the top 5 as they work it up off of corner number 4. It's LeBrun and Thompson 1 and 2 once again. Still about 4 car lengths separating the top 2 drivers as LeBrun pushes up the racetrack just a little bit. Here comes Ricky Thompson. Thompson trying to close the gap going down the back straightaway, and he is there. He's got it down to about a car length and a half. Now he closes right in on the back bumper of LeBrun going off of corner number 4. White flag will be displayed this time by for LeBrun, and he has got Thompson nipping at his heels here for the number 1 spot here late in the going as they all head down into corners 1 and 2. Jody Swamp doing everything he can to hold off the Peters clan as they head down the back straightaway. Allen gets down to the inside trying to pick off that 3rd spot as they race door to door through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out. Stefan LeBrun gets the win. 2nd will go to Thompson. At the line, Alan Peters will grab 3rd.
70 of Eugene Tarbell. So, it'll be Owen White to fire from the pole position to the outside. Rock Oban. White and Oban fire. We've got the go fast flag on the track. 8 laps the distance as Oban now will go to the high side. Break away from Owen White just a little bit. Down the backstretch, they'll fire. Dion Oaks, he likes what he sees out on the top side as Owen White drifts up just a little bit. Coming out of 4 now, completing lap number 1 will be number 4 of Rock Oban, your early race leader. Owen White to the bottom. Drifts up just a little bit to shut that door off for the 48 machine of Dion Oaks. Oaks now on the rear bumper looking for an opening down to the backstretch. Dion Oaks will fly to the bottom. It will be the ON of Owen White. Owen White holding his number 2 spot here, but he's going to have a handful as they come around to the flag stand as Dion Oaks looks to take the inside groove away from him. The race for second is the one to watch, folks. Down the backstretch, the ON in the number 2 position. The 48 machine of Dion Oaks to the 3rd position. In behind them, the 8 of Mark Lalone and Eugene Tarbell rounds out the field as Rock Oban enjoying the battle for the number 2 position as he's able to break away from the rest of the field with 5 laps remaining. To the top side now, Owen White will drift. Dion Oaks looks for something on the bottom, down to the backstretch. Does he have that number 2 spot as he slams it into turn number 3? Gets up a little bit, lets off the gas as that'll open the door even more, though, as Owen White gets out of shape in turn 4. Dion Oaks now, the number 2 position, halfway home for the Pro Stocks Heat Race number 2. Dion Oaks, he's going to find that go fast pedal down to the backstretch. He's in hot pursuit now of the 4 machine of Rock Oban. Dion Oaks able to break away just a little bit here from the ON machine of Owen White. Oban around now on lap 5. He has led every single lap of this heat race. Rock Oban now will fire out of 2 down to the backstretch. Dion Oaks gaining just a little bit down as Dion Oaks has to get off the gas just a little bit as his machine slipped up a little bit down to the backstretch. But here comes Owen White. He's not done yet. He's looking for that number 2 position. We've got 2 laps remaining on the field. Rock Oban is your race leader. Dion Oaks in 2nd. Owen White in 3rd and 4th. Mark Malone rounding out the field. The 7 of Eugene Tarbell. Rock Oban has been fast and smooth here tonight in this second heat race for the Pro Stocks. Able to break away from the rest of the field as the battle for the number 2 spot was taking place. White lap on the field. 2 more turns of the steering wheel for Rock Oban as he'll go down to the backstretch. He's got Dion Oaks who's doing everything he can to reel him in. I don't think that's going to happen as Rock Oban will come out of 4, head down to the checkered flag. Rock Oban, heat race winner number 2 tonight in the Pro Stocks, followed by the 48 machine of Dion Oaks, the ON of Owen White, the 8 of Mark Lalone, and
along with last week's feature winners, 74 Matt Billings, Laura Lannister, and the 44 of Lance Willix. Actually, that's the 23D of Billy Dunn. Billy Dunn out there on the board aboard the 23D as they hit the back straightaway. Green flag flies in the air, and Dale Plank out to that early race lead, trying to shake off some of the bad runs that he's had here in the last couple of weeks. And right now, he's got that early race lead as they go off into corners 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Larry Welling Jr. followed by Luke Whitaker and Billy Dunn in that top 4 order. Then it's a wholesale scramble back there for the number 5 spot. David Papineau has it, the 74. Billings trying to hold off Lance Willix in that 44 as Shane Pecor looks to make room and go forward. Meanwhile, up in front, Dale Plank is going farther forward than anybody. He's got about a half straightaway lead already on the 21 of Welling as they're working up off of corner number 4. It's Plank, Welling, Whitaker, and Billy Dunn. 5th right now is hotly being contested between Lance Willix and the 188 of Papineau, and Willix is digging down low in that Casey Swampo number 44 machine, and the 44 of Willix will go on by as Matt Billings looks to do the same, and David Papineau gets shuffled way up out of line, loses another spot to Shane Pecor in the process. So after running 5th for the last couple of laps, David Papineau now has to play catch-up here as he is tail on the field as Dale Plank works it up off of corner number 4 with the lead. Welling is 2nd. Then a good battle going on for 3rd as Billy Dunn is taking that spot away from Luke Whitaker as they go up into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Whitaker falls to 4th. Willix rounds out your top 5. The 3C New York native working in that top 5 machine right now. Up off the turn they work, and Welling got a little bit too high that time, allowing Billy Dunn to close the gap, and he narrowed it down quickly from about 6 car lengths all the way down to about 2 or 3 as he hits the back straightaway with Larry Welling right in front of him. The 38 of Luke Whitaker looking to close in 4th, and that's Storm Realty number 38. Then it's the 44 of Willix completing the top 5. 7 laps are complete in his 10-lap heat event for the 358 modifieds, and the 77 exit Dale Plank putting on a clinic here. Picked up his 60th career Dirt 358 modified win just a couple of weeks ago at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway, and likes to get number 61 here tonight as he works it up off of turns 3 and 4 this time around. 2 more laps to go. White flag will be displayed this time by, though, for Plank, and he is checked out on the rest of the field. The battle is for that runner-up spot as the 21 of Welling getting some pressure here from Billy Dunn, who's got that inside groove, and he sails on by the 21 of Welling to pick up second. Checkered flag is out, and Dale Plank will grab the win. Second spot still up for grabs. It's going to go to Billy Dunn in the 23D, then the 21 of Welling, followed by Whitaker in the 38, 44 of Willick, 74 of Billings, the 4 of Pecor, and the 188 of Papineau will complete your field. So,
to the outside, the 16 of Gage Morin, grandson of Cornwall promoter Ron Morin. In behind them, the Timmy O'Brien and 37 of Kyle Jacobs. We've got the green flag on the field. Gage Morin wasting no time, breaking away from the pole position, outside pole position. To the bottom he'll go, coming out of 2, but look at the cars in stacking up now. Blake Cornwood to the inside of the 007, the smoking one, Roy Tarbell. He's the man on the move. He'll lean on his machine coming out of 4, looking to pick up that number 5 spot. He'll do that. We've got caution on the field. And of Arquette to the inside from the pole position. Arquette, your race leader. He'll start this heat race number 2. And it'll be Morin breaking away again to the early race lead. To the inside will go Timmy O'Brien, and now Jacobs and Arquette get together going in between turns 1 and 2. That'll open the door. Here comes the smoking gun 007 Roy Tarbell. Into turn 3 now. He'll set his sights on the 37 machine, but Gage Morin enjoying a great restart on that one. Followed by Timmy O'Brien, Kyle Jacobs, the 007 of Roy Tarbell, and the 24 machine of Brandon Sweet. Welcome back, Brandon, for joining us now 2 weeks in a row. Glad to see you out there. The 17 machine, Danny O'Brien, takes a peek inside, but there's nothing there for him as he quickly runs out of real estate. We've got 1 lap in. Actually, should be 2 laps in. As Gage Morin, the early race leader. And behind him, the 88 of Timmy O'Brien. The race to watch is the man on the move, the 17 of Danny O'Brien. He's trying to reel in the 24 machine of Brandon Sweet. Brandon Sweet now to the outside. Danny O'Brien's going to take a look on inside, not see much there, but here comes the 007 of Roy Tarbell, making some real estate makeup here on the 37 machine of Kyle Jacobs. Tarbell looks to set his machine into turn 1, low goes to the bottom. Kyle Jacobs says, I don't think so. He'll shut that door down to the backstretch. They'll fire away. Gage Morin enjoying this as he's able to break away to a considerable lead here on the second place car of Timmy O'Brien. Now, the 007, he works that rear bumper of the 37 machine of Kyle Jacobs. To the inside will go Jacobs as well as Roy Tarbell. Jacobs powers his machine down into turns 3 and 4. Tarbell loses just a little bit coming out of turn 4 as Jacobs is back onto his go fast pedal. Gage Morin looking to run away and hide, and so far so good for him. The number 3 spot, the one to watch on the racetrack, the 37 machine holds it of Kyle Jacobs to the high side. Roy Tarbell going to try a different line here and try to make up some ground, and he does coming out of 4. Very quickly getting on the rear bumper of the 37 machine of Kyle Jacobs is the 007, the smoking gun, Roy Tarbell. Down to the backstretch they'll go. Kyle Jacobs maintaining that number 3 spot, but Timmy O'Brien starting to close the distance between him and Gage Morin. We've got 2 laps remaining for Gage Morin. Kenny hang on and beat the 88 machine to the checkered flag here with 1 lap remaining. The white flag will be coming out with 1 lap to go in this 10-lap event. Now to the inside, the 007 looking for something on Kyle Jacobs here, but Kyle Jacobs not giving up him much room. Now there's the door open for Roy Tarbell. Can he make his machine stick? They get together, and Roy has to get off the gas just a little bit here, and that'll allow Gage Morin to come around, collect the checkered flag as Roy Tarbell went in there and got into Kyle Jacobs just a little bit, backed off on that one, and no worse for wear for either machine there. So a good racing move by Roy Tarbell as he did not want to wipe out himself and Kyle Jacobs.
That will make up your 7-car field, ready to do battle here once again for 10 laps. Then we'll move right into the qualifying heats for the Frenchies 4 Drive 1 Sportsman Series, round number 2. Green flag is in the air, and the 151 of McDonald goes up into that top spot early. Perry Francis and Chris Raby, a couple C&B Enterprises teammates right there in in third. Rabi down on the inside, tries to slide on by, pick off second. He will do so. Rabi picked up a dominant feature win this past Sunday night at Cornwall and had his way with the field, much like he did in the big block show 2 weeks ago. He motors away from Perry Francis down the backstretch in hot pursuit of Slim McDonald up off of corner number 4. These two drivers, both former sportsmen and 358 modified track champions here, as Lannister gets on by Francis for the number 3 spot. Francis looks like he's got quite a bit of handling problems with that 55 as the 55X of Robert Delormier tries to close in, teammate of him as well, and Zach Albertine with problems will head pit side with the 03. As the field heads off of corners 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway, Brian McDonald is waiting for nobody out there in that 151. Jumping up to the head of the class with Rabi in pursuit. The 23 of Lannister holding down the number 3 spot as a pair of 55s go at it for the number 5 spot. Robert Delormier has gotten around Perry Francis, and something definitely does not look right in the rear end of that 55 of Perry Francis. It is all sorts of crossed up when he goes into the corner. A violent push going into the turn for Francis. You can see it right there. So something obviously broken on the rear suspension for that machine. But meanwhile, nothing's broken on the 151 of Brian McDonald as he works it up off of corners 3 and 4. He's got about a straightaway over Chris Rabi, your defending track champion, working it down into turns 1 and 2 with that second spot. The Laser is third, followed by Kerry Torrance up into fourth. As the 55 of Delorme works in that number 5 spot. The 151 of McDonald races on by. 7 laps are up on the scoreboard with 3 more to go. And the 01 of Rabi holding down that second spot with Lannister into third. Kerry Torrance start to close in as well in that 66X machine. Ronigan fourth. The 55X of Delorme and the 55 of Francis complete it. 2 more laps left to go for Brian McDonald. And McDonald hasn't won a heat race here since June the 15th. Would like to get back on track and get a heat win. Maybe propel him to a feature win here later on this evening if he could do it. Up off of corner number 4 they go. White flag is being displayed for Brian McDonald as he sets it off into corners 1 and 2 with a huge lead over Chris Rabi, who's all by himself as well in that number 2 spot. And then it's Lannister and Kerry Torrance is closing in for the number 3 spot here late in the going. Checkered flag flies. Brian McDonald picks up the win. Second will go to the 01 of Rabi as he heads down the front straightaway. Lannister will come by, holding off Kerry Torrance for the number 3 spot. Robert Delormier will come across to the number 5 spot, and a great debut in the modifieds for him. And
Mike Ark, Nolan Swamp, Brent Kelsey, along with Dana Akins, the 42 machine of Daryl Nutting, and starting scratch on the field, the 70B, that is Josh Brockway. Off to the early race lead is a 12 machine, Brandon Hagen. Been cleaning up the field at the Can-Am Speedway on Saturday nights. Running the Frenchies Drive 1 Sportsman Series race here once again. Hagen off to the early race lead. To the outside will go Billy Cook in the number 2 position. Mike Arkwit on the move here. He is in the number 3 position, sets his sights on Billy Cook for that number 2 spot. Mike Arkwit involved in a late crash last week, and his family working very hard getting that machine back ready for tonight's racing action. Of course, that pit crew led by his wife Susan. Down to the backstretch they'll go. This 70 of Billy Cook in the number 2 spot as Brendan Hagen has checked out on the field here as he's opened up quite a substantial margin. Mike Arkwit now will drift to the high side, lose a little bit of real estate, and now here comes Adam Rozon, bringing along with him the 8 of Dana Akins and the 30 of Brent Kelsey. Kelsey will look to the inside of Rozon. Is there something there for him? Nothing there for Dana Akins. Now to the top side. Nolan Swamp gets out of that just a little bit as the 8 machine of Akins drifted high. Nolan Swamp now looks for the top side. Mike Arkwit with some handling issues here as coming down the front stretch almost gets some of the concrete. He'll lose some ground here to the 3 of Adam Rozon. Adam Rozon in 3rd place. Brandon Hagen, look at him go here tonight. Very comfortable in this 8-lap event for him. As you hear them hit the rev limiters coming out of turn 4. Dana Akins, the man on the move, as he gets by the 30 machine of Brent Kelsey. Kelsey battles back to the high side. He's bringing the 1 machine of Nolan Swamp with him. Dana Akins not going to give much ground here to the 30 machine of Brent Kelsey. To the bottom, Akins will go. He'll open up a little bit more of a lead over Kelsey. Kelsey going to take to the peak, to the inside. Nolan Swamp collects a tire and another tire down into the front stretch as Nolan Swamp just ran out of real estate coming out of 4 on the bottom.
The Jalbert family puts out, but right now they got some work to do. But Brandon Hagen doesn't have much work to do as he's in the lead.
2 laps remaining now as they'll get get the go green flag here as Hagen will break away and maintain his race lead. Billy Cook says, not so fast. I'm looking to reel you in here, but here comes the 3 of Adam Rozon. His first-time feature winner here at Mohawk 2 weeks ago, the number 3 machine of Adam Rozon. Mike Arquette collects his machine in that number 4 position. He looks to reel him in, but Dana Aikenson now into the top 5. Brett Kelsey on his rear bumper. To the inside will go the 2 EZ of Mike Arquette. No room there for him as Adam Rozon comes down to the bottom side. Mike Arquette now firing down. We've got 1 lap remaining. Final turn here for the 12 machine of Brandon Hagen. Brandon Hagen, heat winner number 1 tonight in the Frenchies Drive 1 Sportsman Series race. So Brandon Hagen returns to
number 3, set to come up next. Green flag is set to come out here, and we got it as they head down the front straightaway. The 24 of Lalonde set into the early lead, but Brian Kopp is quicker on the top side. He'll go up to the number 1 spot as they work the back straightaway. Down into turns 3 and 4 they go. Lalonde set and the 3 of Rick Miller round out your top 3 early on. Mike Stacey's been getting better and better each and every week in that 23 machine. Had a strong run in the feature goal last week till problems with his ride relegated him towards the back of the field at the finish, but he was running in the top 10 throughout the entire race. Down the back straightaway they go, and he has got some pressure from Neil Provost and Jessica Power. Up off of corner number 4 they go. It's Kopp, Lalonde set, and Miller, your top 3. And then Wyatt Mullen back there in the 4th spot. And Mike Stacey doing all he can to hold off some tough customers in the form of Provost and Jessica Power. Throw Corey Winters into that mix. You got a good 4-car dance for the number 5 spot as Andrew Fish has gone off of turn number 2. And that will bring out the caution flag here with just 3 laps up on the scoreboard. And
better, making for some exciting racing here at Mohawk.
Absolutely, as we work it up off of corner number 4. And we've been averaging close to 25 sportsmens on a regular basis, which is very, very good to see in this sportsman class. Starting to flourish, that is for sure. As right now, the 11 of Kopp has the lead, and Justin Lalonde set, not about to back down. Of course, Lalonde set, much experience in the 358 modifieds, of course, running Granby and Drummond on a weekly basis the last couple of seasons. Has this new ride from the Daou race team and has that number 1 spot as he works it up into turns 3 and 4 in that 24 machine. The 11 of Kopp back there in second as the 3 of Rick Miller gets a little bit too high, and that allows Wyatt Mullen to get by, and Mike Stacey trying to do the same. He's got Neil Provost all over his back bumper, and Jessica Power just looking for room to go as they head down the back straightaway. The 33 of Winters back there as well with Power, and the 70X of Andrew Fish completes your field. 2 more laps left to go. This 8-lap heat event for the Sportsmans as the field continues to scramble on back from 4th all the way back to about 7th here as it's Provost, Rick Miller, and the 52 of Jessica Power along with the 33 of Corey Winters battling it out. Up in front, nobody has touched the 24 of Justin Lalonde set as he is driven away from Brian Kopp, but Kopp actually closed the gap right there going through turns 1 and 2, drove it deep into the corner, and tries to run down Lalonde set at the closing stages of this one, but he's going to run out of time. Checkered flag will fly, and Justin Lalonde set will pick up the win. Second will go to Brian Kopp. Third to the 5 of Wyatt Mullen. Mike Stacey comes home in 4th. Neil Provost finally breaks into the top 5. He'll come home in 5th. Jessica Power, Rick
them. The 10 of Josh Van Brockland starting scratch on the field here tonight is the 27 machine of Sheldon Horgorf rejoining the field tonight for this Sportsman Series race presented by Frenchies Ford Drive 1. Now off to the early race lead. It is the 95 of Tammy Jalbert. It's a show of ladies up front, 1 and 2. Tammy Jalbert and the 2 machine of Jenna David. Jenna David in the number 2 spot. Evoy takes a peek. Jenna David slams that door shut now as Evoy works the rear bumper of David. Down to the backstretch, Tammy Jalbert enjoying the scenery behind her as the battle for the number 2 spot is the one to watch. David drifts just a little bit up to the racetrack. That'll open the door for the 83 machine of Dylan Evoy. He'll now set his sights on Tammy Jalbert. Jalbert to the bottom out of 2. Here comes Dylan Evoy in the 83 machine. Evoy to the top side. He's looking to find a little moisture. Nope, he's going to take a peek down in the inside. Can he make a stick coming out of 4? He has to get out of the gas just a little bit, and that allows Jenna David to close that gap between those 2. Now Evoy to the top side of Jalbert. Down to the backstretch. Evoy overtaking Tammy Jalbert. Jenna David takes a peek to the top side as well. What did you find, Dylan? She says. Dylan Evoy says, I found some moisture in first place so far. Dylan Evoy leading the convoy here in 4 laps into this heat race number 3 for the sportsman. Down to the backstretch, they'll fire. Evo, your race leader, followed by Tammy Jalbert, the 2 machine of Jenna David, and the 27 machine of Gilles Godard, along with the 10 of Josh Van Brocklin, round out your top 5. 3 laps the remaining distance. Evo looking to check out on the field, and he's going to do exactly that. But coming up from the rear of the field, the 10 machine of Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin now goes to the high side, trying to find a little bit of extra moisture here coming out of 4, as now Godard going to close the gap on the 2 machine of Jenna David. We've got 2 laps remaining. Evoy all alone up front as he checks his machine into the turns 3 and 4. Down to the backstretch into turns in 3 and 4, rather. Jalbert with that number 2 spot, as now she's going to have some company. The hard-charging number 10 of Josh Van Brocklin to the high side gets some momentum as Dylan Evoy has just checked out onto this field, as now David and Van Brocklin get together, as David may have hit a rut coming out of 2 and collected the number 10 machine of Van Brocklin. But Evoy around to collect checkers. Tammy Jalbert will finish second. Jenna David in the number 3 spot, followed by Godard, and the 18 of Louis Jackson Jr. will round out your top 5. So some exciting sportsman action. This feature event for the Frenchies Ford Drive.
Dan Reef aboard the 03. Last week's winner, first time ever for Scotty Waldrop in the number 60. The Sylvain Lafrance boys. 49 of Dave Bell complete your field. Up in front to the early race lead, it is the 08 of Fleming going to the top spot. Scott Meir, glad to have him back with us in that 21 machine. Got a brand new power plant under the hood of that ride, and he runs in that second spot. Scotty Waldrop got a lot of confidence right now as the 30 of Tim Reef goes around in turn number 4, and we're going to hold it, and we're going to stay under green. And Reef trying to get to the pit area, and he will do so. Up in front, it is the 08 of Fleming going to the top spot. Here comes Scotty Waldrop chasing him down in spot number 2 in preparation for their 20-lap feature go here tonight in the Mod Lights, as the 21 of Mir working in that 3rd spot. The 7 of Lafrance boys holds down 4th, and it's Harley Brown in the 8 rounding out your top 5 as the 08 of Fleming brings them down in front. Scotty Waldrop still closing that gap, and Waldrop off a big win here last week. First time he'd ever won on a dirt oval track course. I used to race with Scotty many years ago in asphalt go-karts on road courses, and I tell you what, he's taken a liking to this Mod Light class very quickly. 2 laps left to go. Scott Meir, many-time feature winner here in the Bandit division, sets sail up on that top side of the speedway, trying to close in on your top 2 drivers for the lead here as they head off into corners 3 and 4. Mir is going to look to the top side. It's a 3-car dash to the finish here up off of corner number 4. White flag is being displayed. Fleming, Waldrop, and Scott Meir in that order. Waldrop and Fleming elect to stay on the bottom. Scotty Mir up to the top side. 3-car battle for the win here in the TUSA Mod Light Series, as the 60 of Waldrop on the final lap digs down low, and Scotty Waldrop will grab heat number 1 for the TUSA Mod Light Series. The 08 of Fleming, the 21 of Mir, 7 of Lafrance boys, and the 8 of Brown round out your top 5.
Number 1 machine of Brian Green, and starting scratch on the field, the number 39 machine of Dan Curving. So it'll be the 12 machine of Boguet off to the early race lead. But now to the outside will go the 88 of Matthew Robinson. He knows the fast way around the Mohawk International Raceway. Down the backstretch he'll go. He's got his hands filled here with Boguet. Boguet to the inside, but Matthew Robinson wasting no time, getting off to the early race lead, as the number 12 machine will pick up that left front sneaker coming out of 4. Some fast Mod Lights here tonight for their tour race, the TUSA. A qualifying event for down in Florida. So if they have an extra ride, by all means, contact me. I'll be more than glad to go with you. So the 88 machine of Robinson breaks away here in turn 4. Is now getting some company is the number 1 machine of Brian Green, and a new machine here as he goes to the inside of Boguet, looking for a little bit of momentum and making his race car stick to the bottom. So far, not able to do so. As now Boguet able to break away just a little bit. Green going to stick it to the bottom side coming out of 4. Does he have enough room to get by and enough momentum? Yes, sir, he does. Brian Green will now collect that number 2 position on lap number 3. Matthew Robinson now to the high side. He's going to be careful up in those loose marbles. He's got to back off the gas just a little bit as they head into turn number 3. Brian Green to the inside now. He'll challenge for the race lead. The 88 machine of Robinson to the top side, but here comes Brian Green. Neck and neck at the flagger stand. To the inside will go Brian Green. Brian Green now on the bottom to the top side. The 88 of Robinson. Robinson fights back, coming out of 2 as we got a car spinning over as that is the 11 of Matt Mutin. Brian Green, your new race leader. White flag onto the field. 5-lap event for them. Robinson in second. Boguet in third. The 14 machine of Pronovos in fourth, and curving rounds out your top 5. Down to the backstretch, they'll fire. 2 more turns of the steering wheel for the one of Brian Green. Brian Green likes his machine to the bottom, just to a little bit to the top of turn 4, and Brian Green will collect heat race number 2 for the Mod Lights here tonight. This 6-lap event, followed by the 12 of Boguet, the 88 of Robinson, the 14 of Dean Pronovos, and the 39 machine. Let's get a drink and maybe do some other things. So it'll be Castell to the inside, Oban to the outside, the number 1 and 2 pole positions. But Stuart Musa wasting no time for anyone as he gets right in on the rear bumper of Castell. To the outside goes Oban. Oban and Castell get together just a little bit, but now here comes Stuart Musa down to the backstretch. He's looking to join the fray, but Gauthier says, you know what, I got a for sale sign on this car, and I'm going to put it up front where everybody can see it. Oban to the top side, followed by Castell, and now Gauthier is certainly on the move here in that number 3 position. Stuart Musa looking to defend back-to-back wins here. Can he do it as he rides the number 4 position? Zyra in the number 5, but he's going to have the company here with Justin DeRozier. Matthew Oban hard charging through the field here from the outside pole. He'll go. He's followed by Castell, Gauthier, and Stuart Musa rounding out the number 4 positions as Zyra loses a sneaker, and he'll drift off into turn 1, and he'll keep going and going and going, and finally comes to a stop, and that's got to bring out the yellow hanky here. Zyra, and he's going to try to putt around, and yes, sir, the yellow of Mike Gauthier, as you see the for sale sign on that one. As it'll be Oban firing away, looking for that green flag, and he'll get that. Stuart Musa, wasting no time, settles into that number 2 position. He sets his sights on race leader, the 89 of Oban. He gets to the bottom side. Will Oban open the door on the bottom for him? Musa going to make that open. He'll put a can opener in there as they head into turns 3. Oban drifts to the high side. Stuart Musa now gets into the side of Oban just a little bit, and he'll come around, and he'll be your new race leader on lap number 4. 4 laps in the books. 8 laps of remaining distance now as Matthew Oban will give chase to the 101 of Stuart Musa. Musa down to the backstretch. He'll go into turn 3 as he is your new race leader. Can Oban catch him in? Stuart Musa on a hot streak here as he gets up into the marbles just a little bit, and that'll allow Oban to close in on him. Oban now on the rear bumper, but here comes Mike Gauthier in that number 3 spot, the number 3 car in the number 3 spot here down to the backstretch. They'll go. The 101 of Musa. He'll set his machine into the high side down to turn 4. Can Oban find something on the bottom to make that machine stick? Not so, as we are halfway with 6 laps of remaining distance. Stuart Musa able to break away here just a little bit from the rest of the field as the 89 machine of Oban is in hot pursuit. Can he run him down? Mike Gauthier would like to have something to say about this as he looks to reel in the 89 of Matthew Oban. Stuart Musa is on a set of rails here tonight. 5 laps of remaining distance for Musa. He's looking to make it 3 for 3 here at the Mohawk International Raceway. Down the backstretch, the 101 machine will fire. Oban now starting to lose a little bit of distance between himself and the 101 machine. That'll open up for Gauthier. He gets to the high side, but here comes Daryl Mitchell, the hard-charging Daryl Mitchell, starting scratch on the field, has worked his way all the way up into the number 4 position. 4 laps of remaining distance here in this 12-lap Bandit feature event here just before we go to intermission. Musa now in the turns 3 and 4. He is looking very fast. Fast is smooth. Smooth is fast for Stuart Musa. The battle is for that number 2, 3, and 4 spots as Oban is settled into that number 2 spot, able to hold off the hard-charging Mike Gauthier. Gauthier now to the bottom. Going to look for something to the outside, potentially out of turn number 2. Gauthier down the backstretch. He's got a full head of steam as they go into turns 3 and 4. Gauthier on the binders just a little bit as Oban drifts down the track side as Gauthier is going to try to make the pass on the high side coming out of 4. Now into turn 1. Gauthier on the top side. Oban to the bottom. Gauthier going to look to make it stick on the top side of the clay here coming out of 2. Down the backstretch. Can Gauthier reel in Oban? That is the race to watch, that number 2 position. Oban to the bottom now. Gauthier back to the top side. Darrell Mitchell having the best seat of the house watching that race for the number 2 position. We've got 1 lap remaining on the field as Stuart Moussa has put a whooping and has absolutely dominated this 12-lap bandit event here tonight. Now, down to the backstretch. Gauthier with a full head of steam heading into turn 3. He probably won't let off that machine as they'll go into turn 3, in between turns 3 and 4. But here comes Moussa, the 101 machine. 3 for Stuart Moussa, followed by Oban, Gauthier, Mitchell, and the 28J of Darrell Mainville. As Stuart Moussa has a little bit of puff of smoke down to the backstretch in his machine, but he'll be back next week looking to...
Getting out of the car. How about a big round of applause? The 101 of Stuart Moussa. And, of course, I'd like to thank the good people from Keegan's Tobacco for being on hand with us, as they're big supporters of this speedway and of racing here in the area. And, of course, it is intermission time. I invite you to stop down behind the concession stand area and check out what they got to offer. Oh, I'm right up here, Dave.
Jalbert, along with Adam Rosen. They would certainly like to make some noise here. It'll be Hagen to fire away for the green flag, and automatically here comes Dylan Evoy on his rear bumper. Green flag, we're underway. The 35-lap main event for the Sportsman Frenchies Drive 1 Series event. Quickly now, Evoy drives up. We got a couple cars tangled up into turn number 1, and that'll quickly bring out the yellow flag, Mr. Tim Bolts. Looking for that go fast flag from Austin Swamp here. They'll fire away coming out of 4, and here comes Brandon Hagen. He likes what he sees, so does Austin Swamp, and we're underway. Quickly down into turn 1. Hagen, he's got some tough competition in behind him. Lance let the 24 machine along with Evoy. Evoy into that number 2 spot. He'll set it into turns 3 and 4 on the bottom side. We've got cars getting together out of turn number 4 as Wyatt Mullen will come to a stop in between turns 3 and 4 here, as maybe he'll try to head at pit side, not sure. Yellow flag quickly on the field, and I'm not sure if that...
4 laps left to go.
2 of the best young hot shoes in the Northeast. It is Evoy and Hagen. Hagen fires away. He gets the green flag here as we're back underway. Lap number 1. It is Evoy to the bottom. Hagen, is he going to open up enough room for Evoy to slip by? Not this time. Hagen will head it into turns 3 and 4. Evoy to the top side. He'll put the blinders on his machine, try to maintain some momentum coming out of 4, as now the car is starting to space out just a little bit as they head into turns 3 and 4 on lap number 2. Hagen down to the backstretch, followed by Evoy, the 24 of LaLancelette, along with Brian Kapp and Tammy Jalbert, round out your top 5. Hagen to the bottom now. Evoy back into second, looking for some moisture on the top side of the speedway. The man on the move, Dan Jalbert, started to rear of the field. He's passed about 6 cars now as he works his way up through. Keep an eye on the 1 machine of Dan Jalbert. That back over to the turns 3 and 4 here on lap number 3. Hagen to the bottom side. Evoy, he's on the bottom. He's lurking in that number 2 spot on lap number 4, followed by LaLancelette, Kapp, and Rosen and Jalbert. Rosen works his way back into the top 5. Down to the backstretch they'll go. It is the 12 machine of Brandon Hagen. Evoy now looking to go gain just a little bit of real estate here, but he's going to drift a little to the high side on lap number 5, still led by number 12 of Brandon Hagen.
Leading the parade, going down into corners 1 and 2. The 83 of Dylan Evoy holds down that second spot. And now Brian Kopp has closed in on that battle for third with Justin Alancet. Brian Kopp, former driver on the pavement at Capital City Speedway near Ottawa, and showing his pavement experience, keeping that car straight up off the corner, and drives by the 24 of Alancet going into turns 1 and 2. So Brian Kopp making some moves early on. They head down the back straightaway into corners 3 and 4. It's Hagen and Evoy, a 1 and 2. And then it's Brian Kopp, Alancet in that 3rd and 4th spots, as Adam Rosen has now jumped up into the 5th spot as Jenna David and Jill Goddard get into one another, and that introduces a scramble over there in turn number 3 as Nolan Swamp makes heavy contact with the 74 of Neil Provost. And that all started with Jenna David and Jill Godard getting in. Dylan Evoy leading them down to the green. Brian Kopp, Justin Lalanset. Adam Rozon completes the top 5. We're ready to go back racing. Green flag flies in the air. 7 laps up on the scoreboard. 33 left to go here, and here comes Evoy charging up to the top side as Thunder Anderson Jr. loses it going into turns 1 and 2. And he got way up above the cushion as Dana Aikens makes his way back to the speedway as well. And the caution flag will come back out here at lap number 8. Just as Hagen come up to the field rather nicely. And Gilles Godard completes the top 10. Green flag flies one more time. Down in front they go. And Brandon Hagen leads the parade going down into 1 and 2. As Evoy starts to go to work up on the top side of the speedway. Dylan Evoy in that Ogilvy's Auto number 83 as he works down the back straightaway up into corners 3 and 4. Hagen got that car stuck right down to the bottom of the speedway. Josh Van Brockland starting to pick off spots like crazy out there. Charging from 5th all the way up to challenge Brian Kopp for 3rd. We got yellow on the speedway as Dan Jalbert is spun going into turn number 4 at lap number 9. That will bring out the yellow flag here once. But you cannot count Josh Van Brockland out. Remember last year at the Sportsman Tour race, this track was just like it is last year. And boy, he set a torrid pace. Green flag is back out. Then Hagen immediately pounces on the lead. Here comes Evoy once again to the top side of the speedway, trying to hold off Josh Van Brockland as they come around to complete lap number 10. Brandon Hagen, Dylan Evoy, and Josh Van Brockland, your top 3.
So Brandon Hagen will settle into that number 1 spot, but look behind you, Brandon. You've got the 83 machine of Dylan Evoy right behind you. The 10 of Josh Van Brockland. Mike Arquette now into the number 4 spot. He gives chase alongside Brian Kopp. Mike Arquette down to the bottom now, coming out of turn 4. He clears him. He's got that number 4 spot. Here comes Mike Arquette up front. It is Hagen and Evoy battling lap after lap on lap number 11 here. Hagen will go to the bottom, to the top side. Here comes Evoy. Van Brockland going to stick his machine to the bottom side. I'll tell you what, the car to watch is the 2EZ of Mike Arquette as he heads his way up towards the front. Now to the bottom will go Evoy. Does he have an opening there? Can he get by the 12? Not this lap. Down to the backstretch they'll go. Brandon Hagen hanging in tough here. Here comes Evoy to the top side, coming out of 4. As now Evoy, your new race leader on lap number 12. Lap number 12 will be scored as Dylan Evoy, the race leader. Brandon Hagen in hot pursuit. Josh Van Brockland going to go to the top side. Look to find a little bit of moisture as they head into turns 3 and 4. Hagen battling right back as his machine will drift high out of 4. Dylan Evoy continues to lead on lap number 13. 33 machine of Corey Winters slows to a crawl on the backstretch. Going to take that machine pit side here as we've got 14 in the books. 21 laps remaining in this 35 Frenchies Drive 1 event. To the bottom now on lap number 15, it will be Dylan Evoy who continues to lead.
And right now he's opened up quite a distance between himself and Brandon Hagen as Hagen working in that 2nd spot. Gilles Godard running in the 5th spot just about, and he pounds into a tire, actually takes 2 or 3 of them there. And Godard, who was running 5th, got a little bit loose in turn number 2. And up on the scoreboard. And as the field works it up off of corner number 4, 20 laps left to go. Green flag flies in the air as they head down into turns 1 and 2. It's Evoy, your race leader, followed by the 12 of Hagen. He got a great run off the top side, jumping up into spot number 2, getting by Josh Van Brockland as Van Brockland when working that inside groove at lap number 16. Mike Arquette is 4th, followed by the 3 of Adam Rozon, and Jessica Powers come up through the field rather nicely as well, riding in the number 6 spot as she just got around the 24 of Justin Lalanset as Lalanset looks to make the move on the top side going through turns 3 and 4, and that outside groove through 3 and 4 looks pretty good right now, and Lalanset makes a big move to the top side, picking off 6th, and he's going to go up top in turns 1 and 2 as well, and immediately go after Adam Rozon. So Lalanset may have found something here at the halfway point of this one. Coming up off of corner number 4, Dylan Evoy leads the parade going down in front. Halfway sign is out, 17 more to go in this 35-lap contest for the Frenchies Ford Drive 1 Sportsman Series, round number 2. And Dylan Evoy making it look easy so far. As we mentioned at the top of the night, he's won all 4 events that have been contested in this Drive 1 Sportsman Series, and he'd like to get his 5th in a row if he could possibly do it. Meanwhile, Brandon Hagen doing all he can to hold off Josh Van Brocklen for the time being, as Van Brocklen's been digging down low all race long. The 2 of Arquette holds down that 4th spot, followed by the 24 of Lalancette, and he has got that outside groove working for himself. 20 laps up on the board.
20 laps, 15 to go. Dylan Evoy now going to work into lap traffic down to the backstretch. He's got the sights set on the 29 machine of Thunder Anderson Jr. To the top side, Evoy will go along with Thunder Anderson Jr. Now Evoy, he's going to go to the bottom out of 4. As Thunder Anderson has a little bit of handling problems, as Hagen quickly in pursuit in the number 2 position, followed by the 10 machine of Van Brocklen, the number 2 EZ of Mike Arquette, number 4 position, and rounding out your top 5 is Lance Leck. The number 24 machine now on lap number 21. Evoy to the top side, being pursued here by Hagen. Hagen's going to have to work around some lap traffic here as Thunder Anderson will go to the bottom and kind of push Brendan Hagen up just a little bit, as now Thunder Anderson loses control of his machine into turns 1 and 2. He'll regroup himself, get back onto the racing surface. Lap traffic going to be an issue here. How can Dylan Evoy thread the needle on lap number 23? To the bottom he'll go. He'll go around the number 23 machine of Mike Stacy. Down to the backstretch out of turn 2 will go Dylan, leading the convoy. Evoy sets his machine into the number 3 and 4 turns to the top side, looking to get around Thomas Cook this trip around the circuit on lap number 24. Brandon Hagen rides in second. The number 10 machine at Van Brocklen in third. Mike Arquette is the 2 EZ rides in 4th, and the top 5 rounded up by Lance Leck in the number 24 machine. Here comes Evoy now on lap number 24. Still continues to lead. Lap number 25. Here comes Dylan Evoy. Evoy now to the bottom, looking to set his sights on another lap car, the 95 of Tammy Jalbert. She won't make it easy for him as they go down to the backstretch. Evoy to the bottom side now. Here comes Hagen. He's closed the gap in. Here comes Hagen out of turn 4 to the top side. Can he get around? But he's on the back bumper. Heading into turn number 1. It is Hagen to the top side. Hagen, he's found some bite on the top side. He puts the Hoosiers on the clay down to the backstretch. Evoy drifts up ever so gently to the top side. Gets in front of the number 12 machine. Here comes Brandon Hagen. Top side out of 4. Hot pursuit here. And now he just touches the wall just a little bit, and that'll open up the gap a little bit more for Evoy. Hagen's not done. He finds the go fast pedal down to the backstretch. Dylan leading the convoy Evoy to the top side into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4 now. Evoy still leads on lap number 27. It'll be lap number 28 here as Hagen trying to dial him in. He had him in ever so slightly and then just kissed the wall and kind of killing his momentum down to the front stretch, down to the back stretch. The next lap car to come into play here will be the 2 machine of Jenna David to the top side. Out of 4, it is Evoy. He leads here on lap number 28. To the top side as well, Hagen's in hot pursuit. Maybe he's saving his tires. To the bottom goes Evoy. He's got company there as he'll go around to the top side on the backstretch around the number 2 machine of Jenna David. The next car is the 27 of Hurgworth. The next lap car for Evoy on lap number 30. Evoy continues to lead.
And Brandon Hagen is right there with him. He's caught behind Sheldon Hugworth, though. This could be the break that Hagen needs. Up to the top side. Evoy trying to get Hugworth out of the way, and Hagen had to get on the binders as Evoy pulled up in front of him. Evoy obviously did not see Hagen up alongside of him there. And, of course, the vision in these cars is not at the greatest. So, Evoy able to get up in front of Hagen. Hagen giving him a little bit of breathing room out there as they go down the back straightaway. Leaders working heavy lap traffic as the 10 of Josh Van Brocklen watches all this from spot number 3. Then it's Mike Arquette into 4. Justin Lalancette rounds out your top 5, but the top 2 are putting on a clinic here at the front of the field. Splitting lap cars going inside, going topside, and the 83 of Evoy gets by Louis Jackson Jr. Now Hagen looks to do the same, going down the back straightaway, up into corners 3 and 4 they go, and Daryl Nutting and Brian Kopp hard into turns 3 and 4. And Brian Kopp is sitting up on top of Daryl Nutting's. Frenchie's Ford Drive 1 Pace Truck pulls off the speedway, looking to decide a winner in round number 2 of the Frenchie's Ford Drive 1 Sportsman Series. Green flag is back out. We're off and running. 12 of Hagen goes to the top side of the speedway here. Evoy just a little bit quicker on the bottom, able to pull away from Hagen, but Hagen actually got a pretty good run that time going down the backstretch. He closes in on Evoy. White flag being displayed this time by... who's it going to be? Coming down the front straightaway. Evoy leads that lap. Hagen's going to immediately jump to the cushion in turns 1 and 2. Evoy down on the bottom. Hagen to the top side. Hagen slips up a little bit off of corner number 2. That's all Evoy needed. He's got a car link separating the top 2 drivers. Checkered flag will be out this time by. In round number 2 of the Frenchies 4 Drive 1 Sportsman Series goes to Dylan Evoy, Brandon Hagen, Josh Van Brocklin, Mike Arquetten. The 24 of Justin Lalonde completes your top 5. So that is it for round number 2 of the Frenchies 4 Drive 1 Sportsman Series. And Dylan Evoy keeps the streak alive.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tim Baltz. Waiting for Dylan to get out of the car. Back in victory lane. Tonight's 35-lap main event for the Frenchies Drive 1 Sportsman Series race. The undefeated Dylan Evoy climbing on his race machine. Here he is, the number 83, Dylan Evoy. Get a few words here. Dylan, congratulations, bud. 2 for 2. You're undefeated in the Frenchies Sportsman Series. What do you think?
Yeah, this feels great. You know, at the start of the feature there, Hagen was pretty quick. I knew he was going to be there at the end, but our car was just a little tight at the start, and then as the track started slicking up, it came to me, and, you know, it worked really good in the bottom, and I found something up top in 3 and 4. It worked good.
Now, Hagen showed you a wheel a couple times where you're thinking, do you have enough for him, or do you think you had too much for him?
I knew on the last restart there with 2 to go, I thought if I bobbled at a 2 and he gets under me going into, or if I bobble in 3, he'll get under me, and I can't get down to the bottom in 1 and 2, and that's when he'd have the preferred lane, and that's when I'd be in trouble.
So you're getting ready for Brockville tomorrow night. What do you think? Sweep the weekend?
It should be nice. You know, the competition's really tough. We'll be starting deep in the field, and we'll see what we can do.
So who would you like to thank tonight, Brandon? Dylan, sorry. Dylan, sorry, bud.
Well, I definitely got to thank all my crew, my sponsors, and, you know, I couldn't do without those guys.
Everybody that remembers his name, thank you very much, Andy. Anybody else you'd like to thank, your mom and dad?
You know, I just got to, everybody. The track was great tonight. It started blackening up through the middle, a little bite on the top, a little bite on the bottom. You know, it was pretty racy.
Thank you very much. Tonight's feature winner for the 35 laps Frenchies Drive 1 Sportsman Series event, the 83, Dylan Evoy.
Win came right here in 2009. Has not won a feature since then. Would like to get off that schneid here tonight. Up off of corner number 4 we go. 25 laps for the dirt car. 3:58 modifieds. And Gage Moran out to that early lead. But Brian McDonald says, I don't think so. Drives right back around him in turns 1 and 2 to grab the lead. Here comes Timmy O'Brien in a bid for the number 2 spot as Kerry Terrance is charging on the top side of the speedway. Goes from 5th all the way up to challenge Gage Moran for the number 2 spot. As Moran working in that number 2 position. Down the back straightaway they go. Brian McDonald sets the early pace going up into turns 3 and 4. Here comes Kerry Terrance in a bid for the 2nd spot around Gage Moran down the front straightaway. And Timmy O'Brien, Chris Raby, and Danny O'Brien battle it up for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Timmy O'Brien slides up into that 4th spot. Here comes older brother Danny down low. They barely touch wheels going down the back straightaway as now Billy Dunn in that 23D starts to make his move down low. Just about caught one of the Grainer tires down on the inside as Chris Raby also makes his move past Dunn to get the 6th spot. And Timmy O'Brien just about jumps the cushion in turn number 2. And Dunn and Raby are going at it hardcore there from the number 6 spot as Kyle Jacobs, Luke Whitaker, Laura Lattiser along with Lance Willicks look to move up as well. Down the front straightaway they go. It's Brian McDonald. Now Kerry Terrance working it up into that 2nd spot. Danny O'Brien have a strong run up into 3rd. Winner at Brockville last Saturday. Riding in the 4th spot. Billy Dunn is cracked into the top 5, but it's Brian Slim McDonald, your leader at lap 5.
Brian Slim McDonald led all 5 laps so far. So far, so good for Slim. To the top side he'll go. We got caution. We've got cars one upside down in between turns 3 and 4.
And we got Dale Plank, Shane Pecor also involved in this mix as well. Just a couple of sticks out of the lead, so we'll see what happens on this next restart. Lap number 5 is up on the board. Green flag flies. Brian McDonald sees the green first, but Kerry Terrance, a little bit better restart that time, drives it deep into turns 1 and 2. Look at Danny O'Brien drive through the middle as I believe Slim got caught on a line in the pocket rocket Slides up into the second spot as we've got the 03 of Zach Aubertine stopped over in between turns 1 and 2. Caution flag is back out. And Laurel Addisor, the laser, rounds out your top 10. Matt Billings, last week's winner, sitting back there, one spot out of the top 10 and 11th. We're back under green. And Kerry Terrance gets a great restart, and Kyle Jacobs and Laurel Addisor pound the wall. Shane Pecor and Aubertine into it. Harvey Arquette Jr. also involved. Caution flag is out. And my goodness, we have got red flag on the speedway here. Red flag. And every Sunday night, Patrick will be there. Check out PM Promotions at Cornwall every Sunday night. Green flag is back out, and Kerry Terrance back to the lead as they head down the back straightaway. Danny O'Brien now has a challenger in the form of Billy Dunn to his inside going into turns 3 and 4, but Danny powers through up on the top side of the speedway, holds off Dunn for the time being. Lap number 7 is up on the board, and look at the top line that Danny O'Brien is using around this speedway, but Billy Dunn's equally as strong on the bottom and drives by the 17 of O'Brien going into turn number 3. O'Brien fights right back on the top side going through corners 3 and 4 and will drag race Billy Dunn to the stripe at lap number 8. It is Kerry Terrance, your race leader, but O'Brien fighting off the challenges of Billy Dunn as they head down the back straightaway. 8 laps complete this time around. Brian McDonald, Chris Rabby at each other for 4th and 5th. Meanwhile, Danny O'Brien not backing down. He actually drives away from Billy Dunn that time. Kerry Terrance still working in that number 1 spot. Then it's O'Brien up on the top shelf in second, followed by Billy Dunn. And now Chris Rabby trying to make his move up to the inside of Brian McDonald going into turn number 3. O'Brien puts his foot down, trying to drive by Kerry Terrance at lap number 10.
Great side-by-side battle for that number 1 spot. It is Terrance on the bottom. To the top shelf, dancing with the devil is the 17 of Danny, the Bucket Rocket O'Brien. O'Brien now makes the power move going into 3 out of 4. Danny O'Brien going to be your new race leader on lap number 11, excuse me. Now to the inside. Here comes Billy Dunn showing a wheel to the 66X of Kerry Terrance. Down the backstretch they'll go. Billy Dunn trying to open the bottom with a can opener here. Can he get Kerry Terrance off the bottom? Right now, Kerry trying to reel in Danny O'Brien, but he's got his hands full with a 23B of Billy Dunn. Billy Dunn on a 2 down to the backstretch. We're at the halfway point here. Danny O'Brien back to the top shelf. Kerry Terrance says, what do we see up here, Danny? Right now you see Billy Dunn on the bottom coming around. He'll get the number 2 spot away on lap number 13. Billy Dunn, he'll set his sights on the number 17D, Danny O'Brien. What a great run off of turn 2 for Billy Dunn. Billy Dunn to the bottom now in 3. Danny O'Brien to the top side. Danny O'Brien powers coming out of 4. Lap 14, Danny O'Brien continues to lead. Billy Dunn reeling him in lap after lap. Billy Dunn to the bottom out of 2. Down the backstretch he'll go. Danny O'Brien now back to the top side. Billy Dunn, he likes that bottom. He's going to hug it just a little bit as he comes back out of turn 4. Lap 15, Billy Dunn, your new race leader.
And he got the job done coming up off of corner number 4 and allows Danny O'Brien to slide up in behind him. And now Dunn opens up about 3 car lengths over Danny going into turn number 3. Danny will drop to the bottom this time, sees what's available down there. Car looks a little bit too loose to work the inside part of the speedway. And Billy Dunn motors away down into corners 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. O'Brien settling back into the number 2 spot, and now he's got Kerry Terrance to worry about as they head down the back straightaway. Brian McDonald holding down 4th. Chris Rabby rounds out your top 5. Field working it up off of corner number 4 this time around. It's done. Checking out on the rest of the field. Kerry Terrance, Danny O'Brien at each other once again for 2nd and 3rd as O'Brien may have burnt that right rear off as that car just seems to get snapped loose on him going into the corners. Lap machine of, I believe, Perry Francis right in front of the leaders, and Kerry Terrance will work his way on by to pick up 2nd. O'Brien dips down low, and he will settle into the number 3 spot as Brian McDonald still trying to fend off Chris Rabby from the number 4 position. Up in front, Billy Dunn putting on a clinic here in the late going of this one. Of course, Billy hasn't won here since June the 29th. If he could pull it off, it would be his 3rd of the season as fireworks go off of corners 1 and 2. And Dunn opens up almost a straightaway advantage over Kerry Terrance, Danny O'Brien, Chris Rabby, and Brian Slim McDonald.
Billy Dunn looking to end this winless drought of 2 weeks here at Mohawk. Back to the top side. Billy Dunn out of 4. Now he'll get around the lap car of the 77X Dale Plank. Mark your calendars, folks. You don't see Dale Plank getting lapped too often. Out of 4, Billy Dunn comes down to the front stretch. He's got 4 laps remaining. In hot pursuit here is the 66X of Kerry Terrance. Terrance back to the top side here. Does he have enough laps to reel in Dunn? I don't think so, as Dunn will go back to the bottom side into turn 3. But here comes Kerry Terrance on the high side with a great run out of 4. He is looking to run down Billy Dunn. He's got 3 laps to do it. Can he do it, Mohawk International Raceway fans? We're waiting to see. As now, the next lap car, the 44 machine of Lance Willix, driving for Casey Swamp tonight. As now, Billy Dunn back to the bottom side and doing everything he can, the 66X of Kerry Terrance, to reel in Billy Dunn. Not sure if he's going to do it with 2 laps remaining. As now, the 23 of Billy Dunn gets around the 44 machine of Lance Willix back to the top side. Kerry Terrance is wheeling that race car out of 4, looking to run down Billy Dunn. White lap remaining. Barring a major catastrophe here, Billy Dunn is going to go back to victory lane. Down to the backstretch he'll go. Down to the bottom. Between turns 3 and 4 is Billy Dunn. Billy Dunn out of 4. Billy Dunn coming around to collect the checkered flag in the dirt car. 358 modified race here tonight at Mohawk, followed by Kerry Terrance, the 17 of Danny O'Brien, the 01 of Chris Raby, and the 74 machine of Matt Billings. That'll round out your top 5. We'll be taking it pit side very shortly for words with Tim Baltz and Vic.
Check 1, 2. There we go. Perfect. Win number 3 of 2012. There he is, up out of the car. How about a round of applause for him? His 3rd win in the last 4 weeks. How about it for Billy Dunn? Third win in the last 4 weeks, man. I'm telling you, you've got this track figured out. Bottom side seems to be your bread and butter around here, doesn't it?
Yeah, we missed it a little bit last week when we were a little too tight and had that flat. And tonight we hit it right on. Laurent and his crew, they did an awesome job getting this car ready, and we just made some different changes that we haven't made so far, but it really worked.
Absolutely. Now, of course, this track, it blackened up towards the center. Danny seemed like he had quite a run going up on the top side. You think maybe you might have burnt the tire off, running it maybe just a bit too hard on the cushion?
Yeah, probably on cold tires you could zing around the top a little faster, but I knew it was a race that was going to come to me the longer it went, and my car should get better on the longer run, so I just had to be patient and wait for it to open up.
Well, of course, you've had an incredible run here, 3 wins in the last 4 tries. Even despite missing that race, you're only 20 points back of the leaders. You got to be pleased with the way things have gone.
Yeah, we're not too worried about points right now. If we keep winning races like this, it'll take care of itself.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Billy. Back at victory lane again. Hope for many more.
Thank you.
All right, win number 3 of the year for Billy Dunn. He's going to make somebody. Green flag set to come out. 20 laps for the TUSA Mod Light Series. Green flag is out. And quickly down into corners 1 and 2. Brian Green has that early lead. And Scotty Waldriff, last week's feature winner, up into the number 2 spot. Matthew Robinson is 3rd. And from there on back, they're side by side for 4th. As the field works it up off of corners 3 and 4. The one of Green continues to lead the way going up into the turn as the Jim Bojet, number 12 in the 08 of Cody Fleming, going at it for the 4th and 5th spots. Now Dean Pronovos has gotten by, and he'll move up into the 5th spot as he gets on by and charges after the number 12 of Bojet down the front straightaway. But up in front, Brian Green, who put on a show in the most recent TUSA Mod Light feature go at Brockville almost a month ago, is motoring away from the rest of the field here. And the 88 of Matthew Robinson working that outside groove to perfection right now as he charges by in the number 2 spot, followed by Waldriff. As your field working down the back straightaway, Brian Green all by himself. Matthew Robinson jumps the cushion just a little bit, and that's going to allow Scotty Waldrop to close in as they all head down through corners 3 and 4 this time around. Dean Pronovost working on the back bumper of the 12 of Bojet down the front straightaway. And then it's Scott Meir, 39 of Dan Curving, Matt Mutin, the 08 of Fleming, and Sylvain Laframboise, along with Harley Brown, rounding out your top 10. But Brian Green right now is putting on a clinic, a full straightaway lead at lap number 5.
So Brian Green reaches over to the left of the signal light or signal handle, and it'll just hit the cruise control. We've got a car turned around here, the 88 Matthew Robinson. That'll bunch the steam machine of Scott Waldrop, last week's feature winner in the Mod Light division. So to the bottom, it'll be Brian Green. He looks for that green flag, and that's what he's got here. As now the 12 machine of Boguet looks to give hot pursuit, hot chase here to the 1 machine of Brian Green on lap 5. Clean restart, and that will remain green on this flag. Down to the max stretch to go. The 60 of Scott Waldrop. He's found the fast way around this racetrack, but the question remains, does anybody have anything for Brian Green as the battle taking place for that number 3 position between Boguet and Dean Pronovost is shaping up to be a great one. Pronovost to the top side. The 12 machine of Boguet to the bottom. Pronovost likes what he sees down to the backstretch. They're racing wheel to wheel, rubber to rubber. Down into turn 3 they'll go. Now, Waldrop, the little real estate that he had, is certainly shortened up a great deal as the 12 machine works his way into the rear bumper on lap number 7 of Scott Waldrop. Brian Green has checked out onto the field. Put away the groceries, mama. It's time for dinner as Brian Green is all by himself up front alone. Now, Scott Waldrop to the bottom, trying to hold off the number 12 machine. But here comes Dean Pronovost to the outside. It will be the 21 machine, the 39 machine of Curving on lap number 8. Back to the top side. But going to the bottom on this one is Scott Waldrop. He lost that number 2 position to the 12 machine of Boguet, looking to hang on to it. But here comes Curving to the outside of Scotty Waldrop, looking for that number 3 position on lap number 9. That's exactly what's going to happen here as the 12 machine has the number 2 spot. The 39 machine takes over Waldrop for the 3rd spot. Lap number 9 it is. All alone up by himself is the number 1 machine of Brian Green. Brian Green out of turn 4 to the middle of the track, down as at halfway point for the TUSA Mod Lights.
And Brian Green is in a zip code all on his own out there as the 30 of Tim Reef is slow to the outside of corners 1 and 2, and that will bring out the caution.
Series event. Green, he is the leader. He will restart this on lap 10. We'll go down and have a few quick words with the winner tonight in Victory Lane. Brian Green likes what he sees. He fires away coming out of 4. Boguet picks up that left front sneaker now as he heads into turn 1 and 2. He's going to have some company very quickly here as the 39 machine of Curving is able to get by Waldrop. Curving down to the backstretch. He'll set his sights on the number 12 machine of Boguet to the top side. But man on the move. Here he comes, the 88 machine of Matthew Robinson. Robinson very, very fast each and every week here on lap number 11. This time he goes to the top side in the number 2 spot. We've got a caution on the field as Matt Shantosh spins in between turns 3 and 4. First win over at Brockville just a few weeks ago. Green to the bottom now, patiently waiting for that green flag to come out. In behind him, the number 12 of Boguet. Green likes what he's got, and he fires away. Boguet into the number 2 spot. Curving in the number 3 spot. Brian Green now puts the power to the clay. Watch this awesome machine, this Mod Light, just take off like a banshee from the rest of the field. But here comes Matthew Robinson, a power move to the top side. He'll make his way up, dancing with the devil coming out of 4. Matthew Robinson now sets his sights on the 12 machine of Boguet. Matthew Robinson, he can keep the RPMs up to that top side. He's got to be careful. Brian Slim McDonald lost the race lead tonight by going to that top side, but Matthew Robinson likes what he sees so far up there on lap number 12. Robinson to the top side. Does he have enough laps to reel in Brian Green, the race leader? He's led every single lap of this 13-lap affair so far. 7 more laps of remaining distance. I'll tell you what, folks, watch for Matthew Robinson. Down to the backstretch he'll go. He is gaining on the race leader, Brian Green. Top shelf is where he wants to be, and that's exactly where that 88 machine is hooked up. Down to the front stretch they'll go. 6 laps of remaining distance here. Brian Green, we got Dean Pronovo spinning out onto the front stretch. That'll bring out yellow once again for the Mod Lights, and that'll tighten up the field. Certainly not the thing that Brian Green wanted to see here. Matt Green's going to do here, and that'll give him a little bit more space. Watch for Robinson to fire from the top side. This is where you want to be. This is what you want to watch. Will Robinson time it just right? And off to a good start is Brian Green. But here comes the 12 of Bogat. Lap number 14. 6 laps remaining distance. As now to the bottom will go Green. To the top side, Robinson. He's built up a lot of momentum on that top side. Will Brian Green go back to the top side with the hard charging 88 of Matthew Robinson coming into play here on lap number 15? Brian Green continues to lead.
And Matthew Robinson is not about to back down and let him get away. He's up on that top groove and motoring around there. But I'll tell you what, Brian Green's car is just so strong down on the bottom that he's able to pull away by a couple of car lengths every lap. The 12 of Bogat holding down spot number 3. Then it is Dan Curving up into 4th. The 60 of Waldorf having a solid run up into 5th, where Scotty had a top 5 run in the most recent TUSA Series event at Brockville a little over a month ago. And right now he's got Matt Mutin to his inside, along with Scott Mears, Sylvain Laframboise, Dan Reef, and the 14 of Dean Pronovost rounding out your top 10 as the 1 of Green goes into corners 1 and 2, 17 laps up on the scoreboard, and Matthew Robinson did have a good look on the top side, but Brian Green is definitely the class of the field here tonight as he works it up off of corner number 4. 2 laps left to go for Brian Green as they all head down into corners 1 and 2. Green right down on the bottom. Matthew Robinson's going to stick to that top side. The 12 of Bogat holding down spot number 3. Curving still into 4th. That battle for 5th has been a good one all race long with Scotty Waldorf on the top side. Matt Mutin down low. White flag will be displayed this time by for Brian Green. Brian, 2 feature wins on the season here at Mohawk in the Mod Light division, and looking for his 2nd straight TUSA Mod Light Series feature win as well. Up into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waves, and Brian Green will collect his 3rd feature win of the season here at MIR and his 2nd TUSA Mod Light Series feature as well. 2nd will be the 88 of Robinson. Bogat will cross in 3rd, Curving, and Matt Mutin your top 5 as Scotty Waldorf has spun just off of corner number 2, and a tough break for Scotty after that big feature win last week comes up short here in a bid for 2 in a row. But it's Brian Green.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tim Baltz. He can hear you once he's out of the car. The 1 of Brian Green. And yes, he does race with glasses. They almost slipped off. Probably not a good thing to do. I know how that goes. We'll get a few quick words here with Brian in Victory Lane. Brian, congratulations. You're back in Victory Lane. So, tonight, this car was just an awesome machine.
It was. I mean, I don't know what it is, but this series body, we only run for the series, and 3 times it's been out, 3 times it's won.
So, did you see Matthew Robinson coming on at all? Did you hear him or no?
I couldn't hear a thing. It's loud in there.
It's loud in there. So, anybody like to thank Brian?
I got to thank Napa, all my crew, my dad, just everybody that helps us out.
Well, thank you very much. Tonight's TUSA Mod Light feature.
Green flag. Down into turns 3 and 4 they go. 20 laps the distance. We're off and running this time by. Green flag is in the air, and we're underway. Owen White on that outside group. Stefan Lebrun looking to make some headway early on as he charges up into that 2nd spot, or at least tries to for the moment, as Owen White settling back there right beside him in that number 3 position as Ricky Thompson battles to the top side. Lebrun down low, and Rock Oban right in the thick of things as well. Almost 3 wide coming down the front straightaway, and Thompson and Owen White just about got loose up there in turns 1 and 2, and Ricky Thompson almost jumps the cushion. White spins, collecting Rock Oban in the process, and heavy damage to the right front of Rock Oban's number 4, and he cannot turn that car and barely gets it slowed down just before he hits the wall in turn number 4. White, or caution, complete your field. Field ready to go up off of corner number 4. Green flag back out. Stefan LeBrun jumps out in front of the field as they work it up into turns 1 and 2. And Rock Obey has made his way back out onto the speedway and charging hard down the back straightaway. Up in front, it's LeBrun and Dion Oaks starting to get into the mix as well as Ricky Thompson settles back into that number 3 spot with Allen and P.J. Peters dicing it up for 4th and 5th. Jody Swamp looking for room to go as well. And the number 8 of Mark Lalone sitting back there in the 7th spot, along with Owen White in 8th. 9th is Tarbell, and 10th is Rock Oban at this time as their field works it up off of corner number 4. And Stefan LeBrun looking to put all the bad luck behind him and go back into victory lane. It has been a long time since he's picked up a win here at Mohawk or any place else for that matter. He's been so close on several occasions, all to have it go away on him. But right now he settles into the lead very comfortably with Dion Oaks and P.J. Peters now chasing him down. Ricky Thompson not afraid to hang it out on the top side of the speedway. Lap number 4 is up on the scoreboard, and LeBrun actually starting to pull away just a little bit here as they work down the back straightaway. Look at P.J. Peters go on the bottom, and he is trying to take that 2nd spot away from Dion Oaks, and Ricky Thompson not afraid to go even higher that time as they work it up off of corner number 4 with 5 laps complete.
Great racing action, positions through 2 through 6 here. A gaggle of cars behind the 6 of Stefan LeBrun. Down the next stretch to go, P.J. Peters. He's got that number 2 position. Now, the 69 machine of Jody Swamp to the bottom. Ricky Thompson has faded just a little bit on that top side, opening the door for Jody Swamp. Now, Mark Lalone in the 8 machine. He'll make his move onto the inside of the 48 of Dion Oaks. Lalone to the bottom. Oaks now dancing with the devil on the top side, coming out of 2. Alan Peters sees an opening, and he'll hit the go fast pedal going into turns 3 and 4. Stefan LeBrun on cruise control, likes what he sees on the bottom on lap number 6. Lap number 7 rather. LeBrun way out in front. P.J. Peters now in hot pursuit of the number 2 spot, but Jody Swamp, the 69 machine, the KG veteran, to the bottom side of P.J. Peters now. Jody Swamp going to go a little higher on the track here, maybe find a little bit more moisture in this racing surface. Back through the field, Mark Lalone now will set his sights on the number 1 machine of Ricky Thompson. Stefan LeBrun is on cruise control and putting a hurting on the field. Down to the bottom of turns number 3, down into 4 is Stefan LeBrun on lap number 9 as he'll come around. He's halfway home, almost lap. 11 more laps to go for Stefan LeBrun, a full-time campaigner at the defunct Idlewild Speedway, multi-time champion up there in the hills of the Gatineau. Now, to the bottom once again, coming out of 4 on lap number 10. It'll be Stefan LeBrun who continues to lead.
And LeBrun has got quite a lead now over P.J. Peters. He's actually been able to get away from Jody Swamp by about a car length or so, but Jody closed it in big time going through turn number 1. And right there with him as they head down the back straightaway, then it is Ricky Thompson up into 4th. Mark Lalone completes the top 5, but he can't look too far back as he's got Alan Peters right there with him coming up off of corner number 4 with Owen White, Dion Oaks, and Eugene Tarbell giving chase as the field working down at the corners 1 and 2. P.J. Peters trying to hold off Jody Swamp for the number 2 spot, but I'll tell you what, Stefan LeBrun waiting for nobody, playing the patient game down on the bottom of the speedway. He's keeping that car perfect right around the bottom. P.J. Peters and Jody Swamp at each other again down the front straightaway as they make contact coming up off of corner number 4. And Ricky Thompson now has Mark Lalone to his inside as they go down the back straightaway. Lalone down on the bottom, and Thompson able to fend him off going down the back straightaway. And I'll tell you what, Stefan LeBrun is keeping that car straight as an arrow going into corners 1 and 2, not overdriving the corners whatsoever. He knows that that bottom groove is fast, and that outside lane is pretty good, but not as good as the inside. You see him settle that car down in there and basically tiptoe right around the bottom side of that racetrack, and he is making up some serious ground right now on the rest of the field as P.J. Peters and Jody Swamp are trying to close the gap going down the back straightaway. Ricky Thompson is still 4th, followed by Mark Lalone in 5th in the number 8. 5 laps left to go for Stefan LeBrun. Can he end one of the longest dry spells in his career?
Well, speaking of dry, that's what this racing surface is. It's dry slick. Stefan LeBrun, the veteran, he knows what he's doing on the bottom side. Down to the backstretch he'll go. In behind him, the 73 machine of P.J. Peters. He's got some hot company behind him. The 69 machine of Jody Swamp to the outside now. P.J. starting to gain just a little bit on the 6 machine of Stefan LeBrun as Owen White will slow into turn number, coming out of turn 2. He'll repower his machine, get it back into turns 3 and 4. Now to the outside will go the 69 machine of Jody Swamp. Jody Swamp pulled up alongside on the backstretch of the 73 machine, and now he gets by P.J. Peters. Can he keep the RPMs up coming out of turn 2 to get the number 2 spot? Yes, sir, he did at the flag stand. It is now in number 2 spot is Jody Swamp. Still leading on lap number 17. The number 6 machine of Stefan LeBrun, but the race to watch is the 69, the 73 machine. Jody Swamp to the high side. P.J. Peters to the bottom. They are racing wheel to wheel, door handle to door handle, all the way around this fast racing surface. Dry slick is where it's at to the top side. Jody Swamp now pulls ahead by about half a car length to the bottom. P.J. Peters says, "You're not going to get that bottom groove away from me." Jody back to the top side is Jody Swamp. Lap number 19. We've got 1 lap remaining for Stefan LeBrun. LeBrun, your race leader. P.J. Peters now back to the bottom, down the backstretch for the number 2 spot. That's the race to watch. P.J. Peters on the bottom. Jody Swamp to the top side. Jody Swamp now gets into the backside of P.J. Peters, tries to get him off that bottom. Not going to happen. Stefan LeBrun wins tonight Pro Stock feature event.
Yeah, we'll get a quick word with him when he steps out of the car, and he's in a hurry to get out of that ride for sure. So much bad luck is all behind him now. How about a big round of applause for the 6 of Stefan LeBrun? Steph, I tell you what, man, it is about time. So much bad luck has happened to you. It must feel good to get the monkey off your back.
The car is my pit crew is good. Set up my car very good.
Yeah.
The track is good.
Yeah, the bottom side seemed to be the place to be.
Oh yeah, the bottom. The up is no good.
Yeah. Anybody you want to thank real quick?
C'est quoi qu'elle dit ça? Oui, un gros merci family puis pit crew puis the Mohawk Speedway.
Well, thank you very much, Stefan. Maybe I have many more this year.
Thank you.
All right, Stefan LeBrun, your feature winner here tonight, and we'd like to